Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are entering into the month of Pisces. Yay! The month of Pisces, which is the month where we can draw all of the energy of happiness and abundance. Welcome. My name is Rabbi Abe, and I'm here to share with you secrets how to get into that spiritual force of light that can bring us into happiness and abundance for the entire year. So let's get started. But before we do, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Subscribe so you'll be notified every time I put up a new video. So let's talk about the month of Pisces. What do we know about Pisces? Pisces, according to biblical teachings, cosmic teachings, and Abraham the patriarch, who wrote the first known book of Kabbalah called the Book of Formation, explained that Pisces, which is ruled by Jupiter, has the force of happiness attached to it. And there are things that we can do to connect to that energy of happiness. There's a very special event which takes place in the month of Pisces, the Hebrew month or lunar Adar, which is called Purim. Now, Purim, if you're not familiar, some people call it the Jewish Halloween. Not a Halloween, but it is a very interesting event to celebrate the victory over the would-be destruction of Jewish people in Persia about 25 centuries ago. And the rules of this holiday is very, very interesting. One is supposed to give charity to the poor, not charity, sorry, it's called gifts to the poor. Gifts to the poor. And the event itself, one is supposed to hear the scroll of Esther being read. You may have heard of that. And one is, supposed to be very festive. In fact, one is supposed to get drunk. Drunk. Yes, drunk. It's the only day of the year where the sages recommend that a person get drunk until he doesn't know the difference between good and evil. Very interesting. What is that about? You probably have to be pretty drunk not to know the difference between good and evil. But there is a secret there. There is a secret. So let's talk about it. Because if we understand this secret, again, abundance is there for us and happiness, the real one, is there for us. Well, let's first talk about happiness. Are you happy? This used to be the worst question for me. There was someone in my life who used to ask me constantly, Abe, are you happy? And it was frightening for me because, what if I answer yes? And that's all there is. I wasn't that happy, but I wasn't miserable. So, what do you answer? It's sort of, if you say yes, then you're kind of limited. You know what I mean? This is all I get? No, I don't want that. I want more than that. And, check it yourself. Let's see. Can you say, look at yourself in the mirror and you can say, I'm happy right now. I'm so happy. Most people can't do that, right? Why is that? Because you're not happy? Could that be the reason? Maybe. What is happiness? Well, let me tell you what it's not. Happiness is not when something will happen. And it's not when someone will act a certain way. And it's not when someone will do something, this particular thing, for me. And it's not when anything. Happiness is not a function of what I have. I'm talking about real happiness. Now, I'm not saying that we don't get happy when good things happen, when we're in a receiving mode, and things are going well. But that's not real happiness. Real happiness doesn't go away because happiness is something that exists within us and it must be created. It must be created. And I'll explain what that means. What does it mean it must be created? In other words, it doesn't just come. And we just don't automatically deserve to be happy. Because happiness draws everything else. It draws the abundance into our life. It draws health and healing into our life. Again, the real happiness does that, not the fake happiness. Again, what's fake happiness? Happiness that happens when something else happens in my life. Because whatever we, are dependent on makes us a victim or a slave to whatever's external, to whatever's happening outside of me. So it's not happening within me, it's happening outside of me. And whatever comes from the outside is not real. What comes from the inside out, that means what we create through our thinking, our consciousness, change, inner work, that's real, and that lasts forever. It gets better with time. So again, happiness is not a conditional thing dependent on the outside. I'll share with you a secret that some people who study the Kabbalah know about, but it was written in the Book of Formation by Abraham the Patriarch, one of the first known books of the Kabbalah, and it's these two letters. The letters are the letter Kuf, the letter Gimel. Now the letter Kuf is the constellation of Pisces. It is governed by this letter, according to the Kabbalists. This is the vibration behind it. And the letter Gimel, which is Jupiter, is what rules sign of Pisces. Now, Jupiter is known also as the month which is responsible for miracles. It's going outside of nature. It's not what happens within nature, it's what happens that can go outside of nature. Jupiter also rules Sagittarius, and that's also a month of miracles. There's a holiday of Hanukkah in that, which also relates somehow to this idea of miracles. So, what's unique about this letter Kuf of Pisces? You see the way this letter is constructed, this part of the letter goes down below the line. Now you write it on a line, like we write all letters on the top of a line. But that letter goes down below the line. What does that mean? It goes down below the line. Now, that line is symbolic for above the line, below the line. It's symbolic of the upper worlds, upper spiritual worlds, and lower spiritual worlds, where negativity exists. Upper spiritual worlds, who are light, positive energy. Lower spiritual worlds, negativity, darkness. The letter Kuf connects to two different worlds. Now, those two different worlds are the worlds that we live in constantly. They are called good and bad, good, bad, good, bad. How are you doing today? Good? How are you doing today? Bad. I'm up, I'm down. I'm high, I'm low. So we usually live within this framework. I'm happy, I'm depressed, right? Again, most people live in this framework. And if you don't, good for you. Good for you. We want to understand that the idea of happiness, number one, is a creation. Again, it doesn't come naturally. We don't deserve it naturally. It's a force that must be created because it is a force that comes from the creator. It's creative energy. And that means it needs creation to become manifest. It means I need to do something in order to be happy. I need to create on the outside or on the inside with my mind. A lot of creation happens by transformation in our consciousness. Example, I really want to judge this person, but I understand, wait a second, why do I want to go there? I'm not better than they are, and so on. You go through a mental trip. This is effort that we do in our consciousness, and you transform that thought to one of judgment into compassion. So judgment then being the negative, compassion being the positive. You did something, you will get some happiness as a result of that. You will draw positive energy. Now, this is how it is in life, okay? Because true happiness actually is a fight. It's fighting against whichever kind of negativity that we need to fight. When we are creative in our life, we will be happy. We'll feel fulfilled. We feel, when you're in that place of creative consciousness, when you're feeling like a creator yourself, you're automatically going to be happy. Check it out, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. When you're in a place of creation, but when you're in a place of victim, what's happening to you right now, or what you're a slave to right now, or other people said this and that about me, or about this, about that. I'm a victim of the news. I'm a victim of the weather. I'm a victim, again, victim means slave to the environment. I'm up and down, good and bad, happy, depressed. So if we're dependent on nature for our happiness, forget it. You're definitely going to have unhappy days, and happiness can't last. So again, there are rules for this happiness, but specifically in the month of Pisces, the energy of happiness is available to extend for the year. That's what's going on in the month of Pisces. And happiness draws abundance and every other positive energy in our life, including health, relationships, whatever. I mean, again, people who work at their happiness, well, look at their life. Don't be jealous, but look at their life. People who are truly happy people and work at their happiness, and make no mistake, real happiness is work. Their life is something to be envied, okay? So we need to really, really understand the difference between real happiness and fake happiness. Again, fake happiness is when this happens, which will never last. Real happiness is something that lasts. It's a part of our creative process, and it gets better. It gets better. It gets better. The thing about the letter Kuf is it goes down below the line into the lower worlds. Now, what does that mean for us in the month of Pisces? And here's the thing. As my teacher used to put it many years ago, it's like a double agent. While if we tend to be a reactive person, reacting to the environment, reacting to our judgment, reacting to our jealousy, reacting to our ego, reacting to whatever, and, being selfish this month and all the different things with whatever opportunities come our way this month, we will feed from the line of Pisces. Again, it's symbolic, but it's energetically, that's what's happening. We feed the lower worlds. Now, please remember, last video, I think, or the one before last, we talked about how negativity operates, and we said negativity has no energy of its own. It only has energy from what we give it. When we have that consciousness of a victim of needing to be right all the time, or of judgment, or of jealousy, or of ego, or whatever, we feed it. We feed negativity. And it comes to haunt us at the most inopportune times. How do we take it away? Well, we have the month of Pisces, and we can go into the lower worlds, again, like a double agent. You might imagine a double agent. Yeah, I'm here with you guys. Yeah, I'm here in the negativity. But you know what actually I'm here to do? I'm here to take all the energy away from you guys and bring it back to me. That's what I'm going to do. How do I do that? When the opportunities come, I'm changing them. I'm transforming them. I'm overcoming them. And the windows happen in this month. We need to look for them. Look for those windows to transform. Transform, big or small, especially the small ones. Look for them. and they will create for us happiness. Again, because the effect is we'll take up the energy from the lower worlds and bring it into the letter Kuf. Now, the letter Kuf stands for the Hebrew of Kedusha. Kedusha literally means holiness, but it means the positive force of light. And that's happiness, that's abundance, that's everything that we need. And it's all that we ever need. And that's what happens this month. We have the opportunity to go down, like with a fishing pole, into the lower worlds and bring up the energy. So, what was the secret? Again, in the scroll of Esther, it talks about giving gifts to the poor. And what is this business about getting drunk and so on? In the holiday of Purim. Again, it's only one day. It's interesting, when a person drinks, what happens? They lose their inhibitions, right? It falls to the wayside. You begin to do things that you wouldn't normally do. Sometimes the real you comes out. It says one of the ways you can know a person is after they've had a few drinks, right? You get to know who they really are because, again, the defenses come down. And some people get angry. Some people act out anger. Other people become more loving, become more connected. I love you, and I love you, and I love everybody, right? In fact, the people even that you don't like so much begin to look better after you have a few drinks, right? Why is that? The nature of our soul wants to be connected and unified with others. It's our nature. When we drink, the limitations of the body actually fall away. And more of the soul, more of what's inside, more of what's happening inside comes outside. Now, shouldn't it be that way all the time? I mean, maybe we should just get drunk every day. No. But the holiday of Purim is what I call the Great Equalizer. The special connection, there's a special reading that we do before the month of Pisces comes in. It's called Shekalim. It relates to the Shekel. It's a Bible story that God instructed Moses to collect a half a shekel in order to take a census, count all the people. And the words are, the rich should not give more, and the poor shall not give less. Everyone should give a half a shekel. And in this way, death will be removed. I mean, what does that even mean? Well, again, remember, the Bible is not here to tell us stories. It's a code. It's a cosmic code. Part of what it's telling us is that the truth, the reality of us is we are all the same. In the month of Pisces, the secret is the Great Equalizer. When we understand, when we come to a true realization, we are not better, we are not worse, we are not higher, we are not lower. That's why when they talk about gifts to the poor, don't you give a poor person charity? No, the reality is gifts. Because you give your friend a gift. You give your relatives a gift. You give acquaintances, you give them a gift. A poor person, you give charity. Yeah, but what if he's not poor? What if I don't consider him less than me? Then you give him a gift. A gift. Gifts are given between equals. And there's a principle in the Kabbalah of bread of shame, meaning if you're less and I'm giving you, that means I'm higher. But that's not true. When one realizes that the only reason why he has more is to share with that which has less, and the one who may have less understands that he is there to receive, to give the opportunity to the one who has more to give, he also becomes equalized. This is a high level of consciousness, okay? Because naturally, if left alone to nature, then the one who has more certainly will feel he's more than one who has less. And it's simply not so. Each one of us is here as part of the creation for very specific purposes. We don't know why one has more, one has less. You don't know why you may have more. Perhaps it's an opportunity that you're being given in this incarnation to help those less fortunate. And if you have less, maybe you are there to give an opportunity for those who have more to give you, and not to believe in the fact that you're less. We don't understand what goes on in our past incarnations or what our karma is, but one thing is for sure. The message that the Kabbalists, that the Bible is trying to give us is there is an innate equality in the soul. Since hatred is the seed of all differences, all differences that we perceive between us is the seed of hatred. If we want to remove hatred, we have to understand, it doesn't mean that we're all supposed to have the same thing and then everything will be groovy. No. A glass which is 1 ounce and it's full is the same as an 8-ounce glass and it's full. This is full and happy, and this is full and happy. It's not about the amount. It's about understanding where you are and being happy with where you are. Appreciation is a gateway to happiness. Gratitude is a gateway to happiness. When we understand the true equality and remove this notion in our head of differences, or you're lower because you're different than me and I'm higher, I'm elite. If we can remove that, we will then bring more love and understanding between human beings, male and female, whoever, different nationalities, makes no difference. In the eyes of the Creator, we are all the same. You want to be like the Creator? Then we have to perceive things, work at perceiving things in this way. This is a high level of compassion. But this month, it will help us take the energy away from whatever negativity we may have given it over to in the past, and bring it away with what? With the leg of the kuf. With the double agent. And through that, we draw abundance. And abundance is money. Abundance is love. Abundance is all forms of sustenance that comes from only one source, the Creator. And harmony and peace on the planet. Be blessed, everyone. I remind you that I am still offering 30 minutes free consultation with me. Go to rabbieabe.com if you want more information. And I will see you over there. All the best.